there is tradition in certain sports where it has been labelled. I think maybe potentially men play rugby, not as many women do. But in terms of the role that I've been in for the last 20 odd years, I have seen a positive shift where sports are looking to be as accessible as possible. Really, rugby have had a massive shift to try and get more women playing the sport. Cricket as well. I think cricket probably at the moment is one of the biggest female participation sports. But I mean, generally, we're trying to move away from labelling sports for men and women. It's just trying to make sports as accessible as possible.
It's not. And why do you think this is happening with these types of sports?
I think for sports to grow, they need to increase their participation levels. So if there is groups in society that aren't playing their sport, obviously they want to open their doors to those groups. It's important that for clubs, for local associations, and obviously in the UK as well, that we see more people participating, getting involved in sport, and then hopefully making the next step and joining a local club, because a local club is what's going to be the vehicle to keep them involved in sport. So if we can move away from what's traditionally been a women's sport or a men's sport, that's going to help the cause, really.
And have there been any new sports clubs set up across the island over the past few years? Obviously, including men's netball. I think I saw Ramsey women's football might have been set up. Could you elaborate on this?
Yeah, I mean, girls football. They haven't set up. Well, there's football clubs on the island already in place. What the clubs are doing is just trying to extend the opportunities for a girls team and then a women's team. Just touching on obviously men playing netball. I mean, fundamentally, my role is for people to be more active, and if that's going to be if men playing netball is going to help that, then I think it's really positive. But cricket clubs, rugby clubs, football clubs, and there'll be other sports are extending their access through more teams, for men and women. So as I said, it's definitely going a shift in the right direction in that respect.
And are you doing anything to try and level the playing field out there?
Well, an event that I lead on in terms of my role is the HSBC Manx Games, and you've touched on netball. For the age group that we focus on, which is primary school age, boys and girls can play netball, so we do see that at the training sessions. Cricket, again, more girls are playing cricket, which is great. I mean, a Manx Youth Games, I wouldn't say it's 50-50, but it's not too far away in terms of male and female participation, which again is positive.
And do you think there's still certain stigmas shrouding certain sports?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's tradition that's gone on in the past that we can't influence. That potentially is still there. All we can influence is what happens in the future, really. And the role that I have working with sports and sports themselves. I mean, we're very lucky on the Isle of Man. We have a fantastic army of volunteers, coaches, and definitely a focus for them is to move away from those stigmas and make sure the doors are open to men and women to enjoy sport on the island in as many sports as possible.
And especially 2020, given it's the year of the upcoming Olympic Games in Tokyo, it must be quite an exciting time in the sporting.
Yeah, I mean, sport's never been so precious, to be honest. I mean, we all face challenges, young people, and older people. So sport has got a massive place now in helping with various things. And being an Olympic year makes it even more special. It's really exciting. And hopefully, with any Olympics, the legacy is it gets more people involved in sport, and obviously the benefits that brings, to society.
And why is it important to encourage more women to take up stereotypical men's sports and vice versa?
Well, so I suppose I'll try and move away from that and say it's important that whether you're a man or a woman, you get involved. You try and get involved in sport. You try and be more active. Obviously, there's the health benefits. There's the well-being benefits, and I think I wouldn't say all the sports, but a big percentage of sports now are opening their doors, and there's equal opportunities there to get involved.
And, sorry, I'm just having a look at my notes here. I'm trying to think. Sorry, apologies. There's I think out there have been women who have been trying everything to encourage young girls and women to take up male sports such as perceived sports such as basketball and rugby. You know, big examples. But they seem to be hitting a brick wall with numbers not increasing over the years. Do you think this might have worked if they worked with sorry, she's kind of reworded this a bit weirdly. Sorry. Just trying to get at one point she's trying to make. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, I kind of get the gist. Right. Let me rephrase that. So, do you think if you introduced certain sports at an earlier age to children out there, they'd be more likely to continue with those sports in the future? Like if they introduced rugby or basketball in, say, primary school, for children.
Yeah, well, I think we're starting to see that happen, or not start. I think that's been in place for quite a while. Again, through the role that we have with Manx Sport and Recreation, at primary school, we run festivals. We have our shore sport programme across a range of sports. I mean, if we focus on girls football and rugby, so girls start playing rugby with tag rugby, the same route as boys do, and there's a pathway in place now that can take you, into clubs, and even playing for Cheshire and for England. And that pathway exists, for football, for girls, it's for the same as boys. Irrelevant of whether you're a boy or girl, the key is creating an environment when you start playing sport that you feel comfortable in, that you enjoy. I think for me that they're the key elements that are going to see a sustainable participation across, for boys and girls in sport. It's getting that bit right at the start. But yeah, I think we are, as I said, we're definitely moving in the right direction.
That's always a positive. And I know when I was in school and went through the system, there were set sports at high school. So, for example, boys never did hockey, girls never tried like the rugby side of things. Obviously, we did do tag rugby up till, I think, like the last few years of primary school. But as soon as we started high school, it just kind of vanished,
Yeah, again, that's slowly changing. You correct. Certain terms focus on set sports, which has been in place, since I was at school. But again, education, secondary schools are becoming a bit more flexible and looking at different ways to make sport accessible and trying different sports. So I know there's lots more girls' football is being played in schools, and now rugby and cricket are being played more in schools. So, it's not going to happen overnight, but we're definitely going in the right direction.